So I guess you could say it's been almost a week from the day that the Suicide Squad movie had got released on both HBO Max and in theaters. And I know I'm a little bit late, man, but I wanted to put out this spoiler review. I ain't gonna try and make it too long. I ain't gonna try and talk y'all ears off. I'm gonna just try and say what I felt about the movie or whatnot in a spoilerish form. So if you have not seen Suicide Squad yet, which I highly recommend you guys check out if you haven't, go look at that before coming back here. But in any case, let's go ahead and get right into spoilers. So, just to kind of like really talk about things, like I mentioned everything up in my regular non-spoiler review, so you guys can go ahead and look that up. But I kind of wanted to get into one of the things that I did mention in the non-spoiler review, which I said that it was kind of like Deadpool 2 in certain aspects. It gave me that vibe. And the aspects of what I was talking about was, if you've seen Deadpool 2, then you know that there is similarities. I mean, the whole Task Force X and X-Force thing is kind of like, that's a coincidence. But in Deadpool 2, if you remember, when he put together the X-Force and they went on that first mission, what happened? Each and every single one of them died one by one. And it was kind of like an unexpected thing. So when I was watching this movie and I saw that happened, I'm like, it kind of really reminded me of that. Like, as soon as old girl jumped on the helicopter and you saw that it was about to start, shit was about to start going wrong right then and there, and everybody was going to be dying. Like, that's literally what it reminded me of. And then you only had, what, 2 people survive it? Because I don't even know if the regular guy survived. Did he? Anyway, you got the leader of the group surviving, and then the girl that survived, which was Domino and Deadpool. So, it just reminded me so much in that aspect, as well as the whole character of Milton. The Milton character kind of reminded me of the white character, or the white guy who joined the X-Force, and he didn't have any superpowers, but he just saw the ass, so he just figured he just joined, and Deadpool just let him in. Like, he kind of reminded me of that. And, I mean, it's nothing bad, but it just reminded me of that. And I was just like, okay, maybe it's a coincidence that he did that, or maybe he did get inspiration from Deadpool and ended up just trying to do the same thing. But in this movie, it's not like I'm looking at it as a ripoff. It's just more or less, this movie really did what the first movie failed to do. You had one person die in there of like part of the Suicide Squad, and that was Slipknot, who basically they got across like, Leah, if you leave your thing, or whatever, you cross Viola Davis, or Amanda Waller or whatnot, you'll get your head exploded, blah blah blah. Try to escape, get your head exploded, da da da. And it showed that. Okay, this one showed that in spades at the beginning. You had literally people going in and like they got across like what was Task Force X, blah blah. And then when you get on the beach, it's like any and everybody could die. They are called the Suicide Squad to put on this mission because they more than likely can possibly die, and so they're expendable. And it showed that these characters are expendable. Like, Amanda Waller don't give 2 shits about any of the members. I mean, for one, they're all killers or jewel thieves or whatever, in whatever capacity. That's why they're behind bars at Bellevue. So it's like you really don't have any type of like, she don't really have any type of remorse for people like that. It's like, okay, we're gonna use you to benefit us, and it could benefit you, but it's more gonna benefit us. And if you die, then oh well. And James Gunn got across that message within the first 15 minutes of the film. With everybody, with like majority of the first team just dying off, just getting shot up and everything else. And then on top of that, not only did that happen, but it showed what happens if you desert the team. If you try and get away, that she will not hesitate. Well, she did kind of hesitate, but she will not refrain from blowing your head off. You know, that's just the type of ruthless person that she is. And so I love how James Gunn did that. Really enjoyed that. Like I said, this movie is miles running marathons over a quick a couple feet lap that the first film did. You know, it runs miles around this movie, and it just does everything in so many ways better than what the first film did. And it's always gonna be a comparison because I feel like if you've heard me talk about the first film, you know how much I hate that film. Oh my god, that film is so ridiculously horrible. And this movie is just a breath of fresh air. It's just a cool breeze on like a hot day. It's like you're going to the lake and you feel that cool breeze. That's what this movie is, because it's that good. As well as I didn't get how Blackguard was able to get information out. Not saying that it's impossible, but they really didn't explain that. When he came out and said that he was the one who gave him the information that he was coming and he bought them all here and blah, blah, blah. It's like, how? It didn't show. I mean, because this was right at the beginning of the movie. Maybe that would have had more impact. Maybe they would have got a little bit more behind it had he survived all the way into the end or something of that nature. But it was just something that was kind of like a throwaway. So it was just like, that honestly could have been taken out. Maybe he could have got up for some other reason, but I don't know. Like, I feel like, how did he get the information out? And like, okay, whatever. So I guess it didn't matter because he died promptly after that. So, you know, it's all crazy. And I did like the fact that the weasel wasn't able to swim. And like, it was like, as soon as he dropped in the water, he's like, and it's like, the weasel can't swim. And he ended up supposedly, you know, dying at that moment. But, you know, later on, he comes back to life seeing that he didn't die. And it was just stupid. It was just stupid. Right off the bat, you had a character dying. But yeah, and what else to talk about? I was mad that Captain Boomerang died. I thought that he was really gonna be in the movie, at least for a good little while. You know, I was like, damn, they got rid of, you know, Captain Boomerang. I'm like, I don't know, like, I mean, like, he was one of the characters from the first movie that I actually did like. And I was just like, damn, that's fucked up that, you know, he died and all that stuff. So I wasn't mad at that point. As well as I was mad at the other deaths. Because I know a lot of people was like upset with Polka Dot Man dying. You know, I felt like it was, I didn't like how he died. Because it was like he finally got his moment. He was like, yeah, I'm getting this. And then all of a sudden, bam. So you kind of saw it coming, because the way they shoot certain things in movies and shows, when something is about to happen, somebody about to get hit by a car, ate by a shark, like in what is it, Deep Blue Sea or whatever, they kind of like go away. Well, actually, it didn't even happen like that in Deep Blue Sea, but certain scenes when like somebody about to get hit by a car or whatever, it's just the way that the like film is, like the scene is shot. They'll shoot from a distance. That way you'll see everything that happens. And I was just like, ah. But I hated the fact that they killed off Rick Flag. It was like his character wasn't the best in the first film, but I loved his character in this movie. And I was like, damn, why they get rid of, you know, Rick Flag? Cause like, what was his name? Gosh, I forgot his name. It's like something, Joel Kinnaman. I believe I'm saying it right. I felt like they had a lot of fun filming this whole movie, and it seems like he had fun filming as, like, you know, Rick Flag, reprising his role in this movie. It seemed like he had fun because the character came across better. It seemed like he was more comfortable. And he just, like the character, I just loved his character. So I was upset. I was really mad that he got killed off. I'm like, damn. You know, he wasn't that likable really in the first film. I liked him a little bit, but I wasn't like crazy over the character. But in this film, I'm like, damn, I'm really liking this character. I'm liking the way he comes across. You know, he's not like a dude that got to stick up his ass. He's down with the shits. You know, I mean, I guess you could say that he's been doing this. I don't know the time frame from the first film all the way to this film, But you can kind of tell, I guess you can kind of get is that in the first film, that was like his first mission with these group of people. So he's been on several missions like this. So he's kind of used to it. So he's kind of like relaxed. The character kind of like relaxing doing this. So he gets off like he ain't got to stick up his ass. He just, okay, it's just another day in the office. And I'm just like, damn, I would have loved to see a movie or a show with Rick Flag like they have with the Peacemaker now. And I'm just like, damn, that would have been dope. But hey, I guess he had to die for that dramatic effect to show how Peacemaker is, and just to make him do some despicable stuff. But I hate how James Gunn just got us so attached to these characters that when he killed them off, it was like, oh shit, you felt it in your heart like Rick Flag must have did. Man, that was just crazy. But I was really upset that he died. And I did like the creative kind of credits and kind of seeing what did you say, the things that he did with the wording, like how he did with the beginning, with some of the beginning credits when what's his name, I forget, when the dude got his head blown off in the first sequence or whatever, and then his blood was in the water and it spelled out, Warner Brothers Pictures or something like that. And that's all throughout the movie. And I like how he incorporated that within there. And which I could say that is somewhat similar to how Deadpool is. Not how Deadpool did it, but just the creative, type of stuff. But, that's a reach. I guess I could say that's a reach. So, scratch that from the record books. And even though I did say in my initial review that this film wasn't funny, it's crazy because I just watched a review from Cosmonaut, from the Cosmonaut or whatever. I looked at his review on the Suicide Squad, and he basically said the same thing I said. It was like, what you're watching is funny, and that it is entertaining. Like, but for some reason, he just didn't laugh. And that's what the same with me. Like, I want to say the best way I can put it is that there was no laughing out loud moments to me. I had like a little chuckle or something like that, but there was no moment where I was just sitting there just laughing my ass off. And I don't know, like I said, maybe something wrong with me, but I found a lot of it amusing, but it just wasn't laugh out loud amusing or whatnot. That like I said, like I mentioned in the scene, like the one-upsmanship between Peacemaker and Bloodsport was like that scene was really good. For them to kill all the people in the camp just to find out that they're the good guys. Like that was stupid. So I don't know, like they had a lot of parts like this. And just now that I think about it, when actually today I had thought about it, that I did say that the movie does seem a bit long. Like they could have shaved off maybe 15, maybe 20 minutes of the movie. And I just realized the whole Harley Quinn scene where she gets kidnapped, and then, the whole thing, the sex scene with the guy and her killing him, and then she get captive and then, escapes and stuff. I feel like they could have cut that whole scene out. Because as talking to my brother, he said that like he felt like it was kind of too long or whatever, that they were doing too much when that Operation Harley came about. And I was saying it felt overly long for me when you go from one villain to the next. Like you went from the young guy who ran the city, and then once Harley killed him, then it was to the successor. I don't know if that was like somebody he was related to or whatever, but he took over. And then you got the guy with the things in his head. Once they both died, then you had Peacemaker. And then once Peacemaker died, then you had the Starfish or, Starro. And it's like, damn. Like, once it hit that Peacemaker had got killed, it hit at that point like, damn, we still got Starro to deal with. Like, it was just, it felt like, I think it teased my brain where it's like, it could end right here. Oh, it's about to end. Like, oh, this is the main villain. This is da-da-da. And then it's like, oh, now we got something else. And it just kept going. So I feel like that's where it kept it overly long. But yeah, like I said, I realized like the whole Harley Quinn thing, they could have just cut out the movie. I did like the fight sequence up in there. And but other than that, it was like it really served no purpose. I mean, yeah, she killed the first guy, but like I said, there's other ways to do things without doing it the way that they did it. So I don't know. I feel like that could have been cut out and probably some other stuff, but I mean, overall, I did like everything else. Peacemaker's turn was predictable when he kept assisting that he wanted to go with them because he didn't trust the guy, and then he left King Shark or whatnot. It was like, oh, he's up to something. And then he came in the room and all that stuff. It kind of reminded me. Well, actually, his turn really reminded me of The Rock's turn in Doom. If you ever seen the first movie Doom, I love that. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. But his is kind of like that. It's like he went along with the mission, good guy all the way, or some way, good guy all the way. And then once it get down to the objective was to go here and do this, but he had a separate mission to make sure that this stayed concealed, and he was going to go by that mission by any means necessary, no matter who the fuck he kills. That's the same thing that happened with John Cena. And I'm even in saying this, I'm not saying that any of this is bad. That's what it just reminded me of. And I'm gonna just end it off with saying one more thing, that I did like I like the aspects of not only this movie, but just the Marvel properties as far as the Marvel shows and everything else. I love the fact that when they bring stuff to the, live action or whatever, to the big screen and everything else, or just now in this case to the smaller screen as well, that, a lot of times you have to change certain things. You can't have Wolverine wearing the same outfit that he wore in the comic books. You don't have to have the superheroes wearing spandex because it's gonna look ridiculous. It's gonna look crazy. So a lot of times it's hard to go heavy comic book accurate if it doesn't come off looking cool, on the screen, appealing on the screen. And somehow they've found a way to, have these characters similar to their comic book counterparts in like how they dress, like with WandaVision. How one of the episodes they had, it was Halloween, so they was dressed in the type of costume that they wore in the comic book. And it was like, okay, that was dope. I like how they did that. They found a way to incorporate that. Same thing with Loki. How he looks in the comic books, they found a way to put that in Loki. And I mean, they do come as close as comic book accurate, but they went all the way with those. And in this movie, they went comic book accurate. With Peacemaker, he looks ridiculous, but in the tone and feel of this movie, it fits right in. Starro, ridiculous ass character. Now, probably nobody in their right mind would be able to put that in the movie and make it feel genuine and make it feel like not out of place or not ridiculously stupid or anything else. But the way he did it, it came across ridiculous, but it fit in the tone of the movie. That way everything meshed together. And it was just a lot of stuff with this movie, and just with other things they're doing. So I'm loving the way these filmmakers are just finding a way to bring stuff from the comic book and putting it in this live action form and making it come across not looking stupid. I'm pretty sure that they're going to find a way for a superhero to wear spandex in the movie, whether it's Marvel or DC, and it doesn't look stupid. And I don't know, like I just love the way that they've done that. So with that, I'm gonna just end with, this was an incredible movie. This was a movie that we deserved in the beginning, and I feel like it sucks that we didn't get this film in the beginning. But in life, a lot of times you have to fail before you succeed, and I felt like that was what it was. Sometimes you have to fail to learn from your mistakes. That way you won't do it again, hopefully. And this showed that they've learned from their mistakes. Now, the box office is a totally different thing. If the COVID era wasn't present, COVID, pandemic, and all that stuff wasn't present, and theaters were back, this probably would have done way better than what it did. Because this is crazy. It wouldn't be on HBO Max. It would just be in theaters. And people would, if you ain't seen, Suicide Squad, go watch it. And you know, I recommend it. I tell people that if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And I tell people like watching in theaters. Some people just don't give a fuck. They just gonna watch it on HBO Max, whatever. I say watching in theaters, it's worth your money. It's very much worth your money. And so with that, that is my spoiler review on the Suicide Squad. What did you guys think? I'm pretty sure that you probably feel the same way that I felt. And just let me know what you think. Give a like to this video. Subscribe if you're not. Hit the notification bell. And I will catch you guys on the next one. So peace out and stay safe.